All right, today we are diving deep into one of the biggest, most ambitious, and frankly, most terrifying novels ever written, Stephen King's 1986 epic, It. So, when you think of this story, this is the guy, right? This is the face that pops into your head. Pennywise the dancing clown. He's an absolute icon of horror. I mean, this is the monster that has been haunting people's nightmares for decades. But here's a question for you. In a book that's over 1,000 pages long, is a killer clown really the scariest thing in it? Well, the analysis we're digging into today suggests that the answer is a hard no. And to really get why, we've got to look past the creepy makeup and the red balloons. Trust me, this story is about so much more than just a monster. First things first, to understand the real horror here, we gotta look at how this massive story is actually put together. The structure is the key to, well, pretty much everything. See, the novel isn't just told in a straight line from A to B. King does this incredible thing where he weaves together two different timelines. 1 minute, we're with a group of kids in the summer of 1958 as they first go up against this ancient evil. And the next, we jump forward to 1985. It's those same people, but now they're adults, and they're being forced to come back home to finish the job. The whole story is built around this really chilling 27-year cycle of violence. And right at the center of both of those timelines are these 7 kids. They're a group of outcasts who call themselves the Losers Club. These guys are the absolute emotional heart of the entire story, and it's their friendship that's going to be tested against an evil that is just unimaginable. Okay, so if the story isn't just about a scary clown, what is it about? Let's peel back the layers and get to the core of what this book is really digging into. So what even is the monster? You know, the most important thing to get is that it isn't really a clown. That's just one of its forms. It's a shapeshifter. It literally becomes whatever its victim is most afraid of. So in other words, the monster is fear itself, just given a physical body. And this, right here, gets to the heart of the whole novel. On one side, you've got the classic movie monsters it pretends to be. But on the other side, you have the very real, everyday horrors these kids are dealing with. The book uses all that supernatural terror like a giant mirror, reflecting the much scarier, much more real psychological terror of just growing up. This is the one idea that just haunts the entire book. That dual timeline structure is there for a reason. It's constantly reminding us that the awful stuff that happens to you as a kid, it doesn't just vanish. It echoes. It bleeds into your adult life and shapes who you become. For the losers, they literally have to go back and face their past if they want to have any kind of future. So, you're facing this ancient, shape-shifting evil and all the real-life horrors of the world. What kind of weapon could a bunch of kids possibly have against all that? The answer isn't some magic sword or silver bullets. The book makes it crystal clear. The only thing that can actually hurt it is the loser's own belief. Their faith in each other, their unity, their combined imagination. That's their greatest weapon. When you get right down to it, this is a story about the power of friendship. It's that simple. Alone, every single one of the losers is a victim. But when they're together, their bond creates a force that's actually strong enough to stand up to a cosmic ancient evil. Their love for each other is what makes up the novel's powerful emotional backbone. So let's bring this all home. After all these years, why is this massive, really challenging book still considered such a masterpiece of horror? Well, if you look at it critically, the book's strengths are just huge. The characters are completely unforgettable, the way it blends different kinds of horror is masterful, and its themes just stick with you. But look, it is not a perfect book. It's incredibly long. The pacing can feel really slow at times, and some of the scenes are famously disturbing. It's a demanding read, for sure. But in the end, this analysis concludes that the rewards you get from it are so much bigger than the challenges. Giving it a final score of 4.5 out of 5, it is celebrated not just as a great horror story, but as this haunting look at trauma, memory, and the incredible power of human connection. So we'll end on this thought. The novel's big argument is that it is real because the fears it stands for, abuse, loneliness, bullying, those are very, very real. And that leaves us with a question that kind of sticks in your brain long after you finish the book. If a monster showed up that was made of your deepest fear, what would it look like?